Law of attraction and how does it work? So, practical examples are probably um, more useful for understanding any concept. Law of attraction is basically what you put out, you get back in. If you put out positive energy, you get back positive energy. If you put out negative energy, you get back negative energy. Now, we have an idea that certain things are right and certain things are wrong. Um, but it's not so much what you're doing, but what energy you're doing it with. So, for instance, um, I can give someone who's hungry food, whether it's a homeless person or, um, just feeding your family. Um, Humans have a concept of um, I should be feeding my family, providing for them, right? Or the right thing to do is to do something for someone less fortunate. Um, but if you're doing it um, from a negative place, and a lot of the time, the negativity can be subconscious. So if you're doing it merely out of a sense of obligation and responsibility, that is saying, I'm going to do it, but I don't really want to, but I feel like I have to, so I'm going to do it. And that energy alone is putting out negative energy. So, or I'm going to do it for validation or recognition or some sort of get back. That's already putting yourself in a negative space because it's not coming from a pure place. It's not coming from a place of love. It's not coming from a place of happiness or joy or a place of abundance. A place, if you're giving from a place of lack, um, desperation, resentment, anger, um, force, um, being forced to do something, it's going to yield a negative result. And that negative result can be anything. It can be the person not appreciating what you're doing, or um, a loss on your part, um, or just negative feelings. So the person might appreciate what you're doing, but because you didn't really want to do it, you have a negative feeling. And that negative feeling is going to attract more negative things. And that could look like attracting more situations where you have to give if that was the reason why you gave. Or more situations where um, you're seeking for validation or acknowledgement or some sort of get back. So what you're attracting is more of the same. So if you're seeking to gain something out of it, you're going to attract more situations where you have to be the one giving and seeking and not receiving in return. When you give from a positive place, you get back a positive result, or the same. Might not be from that specific person or situation, but in some other way. So, intention behind, or motive, drive behind why you are doing what you are doing is extremely important. I want to reiterate that in this world we are taught what's right and what's wrong, and we are taught obligation and doing what's right, all the time. even when it doesn't feel good. So that could mean you're really, really tired, but you don't want to disappoint someone, so you do it anyway, but you're disappointing yourself. And then you tell, so subconsciously, what you are telling yourself is you're not as important as that other person's needs. And so you subconsciously develop this sadness or disappointment within yourself, or feeling neglected, feeling rejected, feeling abandoned. And eventually, even though you're trying to do the right thing for someone else, you become depleted and drained. And then you have to keep giving into situations and you're not getting anything back. And this is how we perpetuate lack, perpetuate loss, perpetuate poverty, because poverty is not just about money. Poverty is an energy, it's a mindset and an energy, and it revolves around beliefs that we have about money, about ourselves, most importantly. So energy, the energy that you do something with and the intention behind it is really, really important. This is why at the moment now in the world, I feel like this is something that we're all learning, or almost being forced to learn, because we're tired of yielding the same negative results. Is that we can no longer do things for the purpose of money, because money is a resource. It is not the thing that we want, and we think that we want money, but at the end of the day, what we really want is peace and happiness and joy and love. And it sounds very cliche. Those are the things that we really want. We want to feel fulfilled, and we think that we want money, but it's those things that we want. And how do we get to those things? We get to joy, love, peace, fulfillment, love, by embodying an energy. So we actually usually do the reverse. We want to get money so that we can feel better, so that we can have things, which we hope those things and the money is going to make us happier, more at peace, more worth love or lovable, help us attract what we want. But it's the reverse. Once you find a place of peace, regardless of how much money you have or what your status is, and status as in if people, think a certain way about you or feel a certain way about you. If you can find peace first, find joy or happiness just because, and just really feel the energy of love, then you attract more love. That's ultimately what we want, not the money, because we all know that when we get more money, we always want more money, and we feel like we need more money because we still haven't found the joy, or it's very fleeting, and the love doesn't last, and the peace doesn't last. So what we want is the joy, the love, the fulfillment, safety, freedom. Time and money are just resources that we use to try and buy these things that we actually want. When, if we find those things inside of us first, the positive things inside of us first, we attract more people, that love us because we're just radiating the energy of love. Um, you attract more happiness because you're happy. People around you feel your happiness, and that makes them happy. So it's like a win-win. The same for all the other virtues. But what happens now is that we are attracting negative things towards us because either consciously or unconsciously we have all these negative things inside of us. And yeah, we are too busy to even notice it. We're too distracted, busy chasing these things that we want to even notice that I'm really unfulfilled in my life. I don't like my job, or I feel like there's something more significant I should be doing. And it's not even about doing, it's about being more significant. And I'll touch on that at another time. Um, and now I lost my train of thought. We often, you might be completely exhausted because you're overdoing life. And again, another thing that we are learning, which is what the law of attraction is about, is you do not have to exert effort to have the things that you want. First of all, because all of those things are within you already. You can attract externally and manifest externally the things that you want, which is not things, material things. The material things come because of the energy that you embody, and you already are those things. It's almost like you're a diamond or a gold nugget, and there's all this dirt on the outside of you, so nobody even knows, and you don't even know that there's so much value in there until you clean away all the dirt, get rid of all the shit. And we really have to go through a process of getting rid of the limiting beliefs, the negative self-talk, the pain, the hurt, and the trauma from the past. That is where it all begins, is getting rid of all those negative things that are manifesting all the time in your life and you don't even know. And you ask, why do I keep attracting these type of people that hurt me? Why do I keep losing money even though I'm working really hard? Why can't I feel happy even though I have all these amazing things in my life? Because there is so much internal debris, confirmation, that we have to get rid of. So, law of attraction is about attracting what you want by being and embodying what you want. And we all innately are all those amazing things, but in this world, we have duality. And the things about ourselves that we think are bad are just things that we have not yet alchemized and turned into something positive. So, let me use an example. Most of my life, I have been extremely introverted and quiet and shy. And I always used to think of that as a bad thing, and I always used to wish that I could be more outgoing and more sociable. I used to feel very lonely. Like, how do people make friends? Because I didn't like how. And I realized that there's a reason why I am the way I am, first of all. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. So that could work in your favor. Just because you are quiet and shy and introverted, and you don't put yourself out there, I started just enjoying my alone time and enjoy being by myself and using that time and that space, not having so many people around me, um, to really discover new things and explore new things about myself and about the world. And um, once I started doing that, I could be hiding away, not trying to talk to anybody, and um, people are still drawn to you because you are radiating an energy of positivity. So instead of me saying, "Oh, poor me, I don't have any friends, I'm always alone, this is so sad," I turned it into, "Oh, wow, I love spending time with myself because I'm important. I love having the time and space to discover who I am. Um, I enjoy not being busy and distracted." And in that process, I was able to find a balance. So there should be balance. No, I'm not saying you should be alone all the time. Um, I actually really love being around people, just not all the time. Um, so, yeah, something practical to try is, what about you do you perceive to be negative that could actually be a positive? Um, there was another example that I wanted to use. Yeah, for instance, if um, you're trying to lose weight and you decide to diet, it does not matter how much you starve yourself if the energy and the intention is wrong or negative. So, for instance, if you start eating healthier, maybe you cut out um, soft drinks and um, refined sugar. You should not ever be cutting out something that is um, a staple. Like, for instance, we cut out carbs, we cut out whatever. Um, Cut out things that are artificial, that might not be benefiting your life, but that's not the point. The point is the energy and the intention. So, if I'm looking at myself in the mirror, like, I hate the way I look, I hate that I'm so fat. Um, doesn't matter how much you diet or exercise, because you're doing it from a negative place or negative intention, and you have to be very conscious and intentional about what you do. Um, if you decide that you're just going to practice self love and tell yourself how much you love yourself and how beautiful you are, regardless of your size, you'll start to see yourself differently and you'll start to feel differently about yourself. And that in itself will make you, um, will cause you to make better choices for yourself. So you might not overeat or, some of us have go tos. If I'm feeling bad, I eat chocolate or carbs, chips, or whatever. So if you're happier, you might not feel the need to binge or indulge in the things that give you comfort. You might have more energy, so you can do more. And that in itself, having more energy and having that vitality can help you lose weight. I'm not going to go into the physiological process of how that works, but I think basically what I'm trying to say is, whatever you're doing, consider if it's the intention is negative or positive, not good or bad, because anything can be good and anything can be bad. There is not the thing isn't good or bad, it's the energy with which we see it, or we receive it. We give it or receive it. Some people can perceive darkness to be bad. Darkness isn't bad. Without darkness, we wouldn't have night and we wouldn't sleep. There's so many things that need to happen when there's darkness. Light isn't necessarily good. It's all how you see or perceive it. Everything can have a positive and a negative. That is entirely your perception. So, this is not to say that we need to fool ourselves and make something that we perceive negative as positive. So if you are someone slapping you, right? That's not to say you need to let them keep slapping you or keep hurting you, or you should do that to yourself. It's should how you see that as a negative or positive is that negative might be, oh, poor me, I keep getting slapped. Or you can turn it into something positive and say, what am I supposed to learn here? Am I supposed to learn how to back away, put up a boundary? Am I supposed to learn how to defend myself in a healthy way? Am I supposed to learn that this something here that is not for me? If you keep getting slapped, then you need to make a change. So the energy you are giving off is not an energy of being a victim or a martyr or feeling sorry for yourself or being hopeless. It is, something needs to change, and a feeling of empowerment. I can change it if I see what the problem is. And I've gone on for a whole 22 minutes. There's lots more, I guess, that I can say on this. So if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to share. It helps me to sort of gauge more things that I can talk about, and I'd love to share more with you. This has been quite a journey, learning all these things, and it is, yeah, in the beginning, it's really, really difficult because we are used to living from an automatic place. If something happens, I have an automatic reaction. Whereas what's happening now is we are becoming more conscious, more aware. So every conversation I have, every interaction I have, everything I do, I consciously have to see what it is that I'm doing, why I'm doing it, what the consequences will be, and reevaluate constantly as what is going to bring expansion and growth and evolution and betterment for me, which inevitably is better for everyone else. So please, I appreciate feedback, and yeah, I hope to do a lot more of these videos. I intend to do a lot more of these videos, but it's always nice to get some feedback, which gives a little bit of direction as to what to cover in these videos.